Hey there, Josh Culler here with Culler Media, and welcome to the content tip of the week. Every single week I'm going to be coming out with a video just giving you just some basic tips on content production, content creation, because we all know as business owners, entrepreneurs, or anybody that gives any kind of product or service that we sell and make money on, we have to have content because content is the lifeblood of marketing. And so it's important, but I know that a lot of times it can bog these people down that maybe you are a business owner or entrepreneur and you don't know how to use, how to do graphic designing or logo designing or creating a flyer or business cards or whatever it is. So I am here to bring you these tips, these content creation tips to make life a little bit easier on that end of the spectrum, because let's just face it, not every single business owner can hire a marketing director or hire a marketing agency to be able to do this stuff for them. So I'm bringing you these tips to kind of lay it down on a much simpler level, to give you some tips on how you can still get your name out there, your brand out there through content, because like I said, content is the lifeblood of marketing. So today's tip is going to be branding your content. So I'm going to give you a couple of high-level things of why you should brand your content, and then a few things on how you can actually brand your content. And this is actually very, very simple, very easy. Anybody can do this. You don't have to be a graphic designer or be, super techie or whatever it is. This works for anybody. So I'm going to throw some nuggets at you. And first of all, branding is absolutely important when it comes to businesses. If you want to stand out from the crowd, you have to have a solid brand. So make sure that you focus on that. Culler Media actually does branding design. So if you are interested, reach out to me, josh@cullermedia.com. Culler spelled C-U-L-L-E-R. But enough with the hard pitching. Let's get into the nuggets of this video. So there's two reasons why you should brand your content. Number one is it creates awareness. I don't know how many companies I have worked for, or even personal brands where it's just one single person that creates content and they have their branding on their content, whether it's on social media, website, in magazine ads, billboards, doesn't matter where it's at. Anything that goes out with like the logo on it or anything that stands for your company is content. I don't know how many companies I have created content for that they said, man, people say that I am everywhere. I'm really not, but they say I'm everywhere. Why? It's because if you brand your content, it creates awareness for your brand, right? So that includes your logo, that includes any of your colors. So every brand should have a very defined color on what you use, and fonts, whatever else it is, anything that's included in your brand. So it creates awareness, which is always a great thing because awareness creates what? It sticks into people's minds, right? So when they think of media, should they think of Culler Media first, right? So that's the goal here, is if you're in a specific niche and somebody thinks of a word, they think of your brand first because they've seen it so much. So that's the first reason. The second one is it creates jabs for your audience. So if you haven't read this book yet, it's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. This is kind of an omen to Gary Vaynerchuk. So Gary Vaynerchuk is the author of this. This is a little bit of an older book, and it's because it still has the Vine logo on it and Tumblr and Google+. Nobody uses those anymore. But it's still very relevant when it comes to the topic that I'm talking about. So the idea is jab, 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 right hook. The jabs are all just things where you're just saying, hey, I'm out here creating a brand today, or hey, I just sold a house, or hey, I'm flipping a house now, that kind of thing. And so that's what jabs are. Right hooks are like hard sells, like, hey, sign up for my event, or hey, buy this house from me. That's what a right hook is. So this book is incredible for giving you just basic ideas on how to get jabs in on social media. And so that's the idea here, just to keep, it's the awareness thing, but it keeps people in, it keeps you in people's face when it comes to your content and what products or services that you provide. So those are the two reasons. Now let's jump into the nuggets on how you can actually brand your content. So the first thing is to watermark your content. So specifically graphics or images, so photos, maybe you take a selfie with a client or something like that, and you want to post that on social media, watermark your picture with your logo. It's so simple. So I'm going to give you a tool here that I actually use pretty often. Even as a graphic designer myself, I use this tool very often. It's extremely easy to use. It's called Salt. Now, being a photographer, I've actually looked so many places to see if there's an easy mobile app, because regardless of what level of graphic designer I am, I always want something that's easy. Could never find it to where I could just put my watermarked logo on the photo, and I found this app and it's absolutely amazing. It's called Salt. So I'm gonna switch over to my phone here and show you guys. So Salt, so you click on the Salt app, you download it. Now you have a certain amount of what's called tokens or coinage or whatever you want to call it that you can either purchase. It's super cheap. It's like $5 for a whole lot of uses for it, but for the most part, you get a package for free, right? So let's just say, for instance, I want to brand this picture right here, me being fierce on my first day of being a Color Media full-time employee, right? And so you see there, so I have I'm gonna actually close that out, but with this picture, you can actually change the aspect ratio. So you can make it a 3:4 image, you can make it a 4:3, 9:16, and you can move it around and whatnot. So we're gonna stick with the classic 1:1 because that just fits better, right? So once you've done that, then you got to go to logos. And then here you can see some of my logos. This is an example one that they have there at the bottom, but this is my Explorer Savvy and then my Color Media logo. So in order to add your logo, I'll get to it in a second, but you're going to need to add a PNG file of your logo to this. And it's very simple. Just save it to your phone and then the app will automatically pull your most recent photo. So add photo or add logo is to add your logo. So I'm going to add my logo right here because it's already there. So I'm going to click on my Color Media logo. There it is. And boom. And you can resize it to however big you want. Normally you want a watermark to be small and then put it somewhere where it's going to be visible, but it's not going to block the image, right? So that's the goal here. So I'm going to leave it right about there, and that is wonderful, awesome picture there. So what we're going to do is in the top right corner, going to hit save. And then now you can either send it to Facebook, you can post it to Instagram, email it, or whatever you want to do to it. Normally I just save the image and boom, there it is. And so that's basically it, and that's all it takes to do it. So I love Salt. Now you can just post it straight to social media, and that is it. So the thing to make sure that you need to know is that with a watermark, you're actually going to be using a PNG file, .png file. Basically, that means it's a transparent file. So on the Salt app, you notice that there was no background around my logo. That is what a PNG file is. And any graphic designer knows what this is, but if you're looking for a specific logo of yours, make sure it's a PNG and not a JPEG or PDF or GIF or whatever other files there are. Make sure it's a PNG because then you're going to get that transparent background and then it'll look cleaner. So the next thing that you can use, it's a very, very useful tool. It's actually an online tool called Adobe Spark. And it's very easy for anybody to use. They give you grids for being able to post multiple pictures, a little bit of a video editor. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And when you're building out your account, you actually add your logo, your colors, your fonts, and all that stuff. And Adobe Spark can make all that happen for you. It's very easy to use, so take advantage of that. I'm not gonna shoot a video on it, but it is definitely worth a shot if you wanna create content that is much more than a watermark. So the next few things that I have here are very simple, very easy to do. Anybody can do them. Basically, like, you don't even have to have a phone or a computer at all. The first thing is put signage around you. So if you shoot videos, if you take pictures or whatever with clients, then put a sign behind you. If you notice back here, I've got 2 posters, which I actually need to update because I refreshed my brand. But I have 2 posters here of my logo with them, with quotes from these 2 guys, Mark Zuckerberg and then Jeff Bezos, which basically those quotes stand for my core values of the business. So it's very simple to do. Put signage around you, even if it's just a stretch banner that you get on displaykit.com and it has your logo on it with your name, the name of your company or your brand or whatever it is, then it's easy to do. Just do that, and it's very simple because then that's going to create a little bit of a branding in your content. So that's very simple to do. Make sure you do it. Another no-brainer is a shirt, and I am preaching to the choir here. And granted, my shirts are on my way right now because, like I mentioned, I actually refreshed my brand, but they're coming in. So the next time that you see me in the video, I'm gonna have a Color Media shirt on, right? But that's a no-brainer. So many people have company shirts that have, their logos on them, whether it's a polo shirt or a t-shirt, a hoodie, whatever it is. Wear that as much as you can, because the next time somebody sees you, they're gonna see that logo on you, ask you what it is, what do you do, and you're gonna be able to explain to them what the brand is all about. And that's an easy no-brainer. Plus, you just have something to wear now, right? The last 2 here are more social media related, and they're easy to do, and so anybody can do them. but they're specifically for social media. So the first one is use a hashtag, a custom hashtag. Now I know that there's a lot of hashtags out there, so it's gonna be hard for you to find exactly one that fits you. Most of the time this is gonna be the name of your brand. Most of the time this is either gonna be that or your slogan, your tagline, whatever you wanna call it. So for me, it's be your brand. So I use the hashtag be your brand or hashtag Color Media because there's no other business out there named Color Media spelled the way I spell it. And then hashtag Explorer Savvy, right? That's my Explorer Savvy brand, my travel brand that I use. And I use that hashtag, and that just creates more awareness on social media for that, because then people will click on the hashtag and see what else you've posted, and that causes them to just create more awareness for you. Then the last thing that I have here is actually one that I have learned that's new, is tag yourself in your social posts. So this is specifically for Facebook and Instagram. So if you post on Instagram, tag yourself, because what happens is people, when they're scrolling through and seeing your content, they'll actually see that little icon that says that someone's tagged in the image or the video, and then they click that and then they see that you're tagged and they're like, oh, this is a good photo. So they click on it and it directs them to your account. So just a little bit of a savvy trick there that I found recently that actually works pretty well. I noticed it because I started doing that when I came across people's content and noticed that they were tagging themselves. And I'm like, that's actually a really clever thing to do, because then if you're scrolling through your hashtags, you're searching hashtags on Instagram and you click that, instead of them having to click on the profile at the top, then they just click on the tag and it's easy to do. So I think it's more of a psychological thing, but the same thing on Facebook. Make sure you tag your brand. So especially if you are the company owner and you post something about your business, tag your business in that post, because then people can go to that easily and learn more about it. So that's what I got for you today. Hopefully that brought you value, just some easy things about content. So this is your content tip of the week. I'm gonna be coming out with these every single Monday. So be on the lookout for them. They're gonna be on YouTube and Facebook, whichever you prefer. That's gonna do it. So catch you guys on the next one. Remember to be your brand.